Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Selenium interview questions. That is, what are absolute XPath expressions? Let me answer. There are two types of XPath expressions. What are these two types of XPath expressions? One is absolute XPath expressions. This is one type. And other type is relative XPath expressions. So coming to the question, what is or what are absolute XPath expressions? What are absolute XPath expressions? The XPath expressions we already know are one of the locator types. We have different locator types that we can use in Selenium automation. Coming to the different locator types, we have ID, name, class name, link text, CS selectors, XPath expressions, like the different variety of locator types are there. In that, XPath expressions are one of the types. And in that XPath expressions, again, we have two types like absolute and relative. But coming to the absolute XPath expressions, this locator, okay, starts from the root element in HTML. What is the root element in HTML? HTML itself, right? Under HTML, we have to go to the body. Under the body, we have to go to the some div tag or something, and under the div tag again we have to go to some form. Under the form we have to go to some input. Like that we have to start from the root element. Okay, so let's say if your friend is asking you a route, so what you are giving the route is from here. This is the actual destination your friend has to travel. So instead of directly giving the route, what you are saying is from here you go here, from here you go here, from here you go here, from here you go here. Like that, you are giving some kind of route map like this. This is like a absolute XPath expression which starts from the root element to the required destined UI element. Okay, destined UI element. So complete path need to be given. If any of the element in between the path is lost, you will not get to the root. You will not get to the element. You will not be able to locate the element. That's what is absolute XPath expressions are. Okay, I'll show you practically. Coming to the relative XPath expressions, okay, they don't start from the root. They are like shortcut. Okay, they are like shortcut or direct. Okay, let's not worry about relative XPath expressions, but let me show you the absolute XPath expressions. So I'll open any browser and take you to one sample application URL. In the sample application URL, I would like to create a relative XPath expression for this button. So how to create that? I'll inspect this. As you can see, the button is here. Okay, the button is here. So if you have to create a relative XPath expression for this, I have to start from the HTML tag here. Okay, Control F. It is very difficult. Okay, it is very difficult. Single slash HTML. Under the HTML, we have this body. Under the body, from root element HTML, we have to start. Under the body, we have to find out the div tag under which this button is available. It's kind of confusing also at the same time. So I may use some kind of right click, I think, inspect again. And instead of manually creating, I'll right click here and say copy full XPath. This is absolute XPath. Okay, this is a complete path. You see, starting from HTML body, div4, div2, 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 div4, div2, div aside, div9, div1 button. This is a complete path starting from the root to the required button. If I have to locate this button with the help of absolute XPath expression, I have to write something like this. This is what is absolute XPath expression. There are two types of absolute XPath expression. One is absolute XPath expression, another one is relative. To understand the absolute XPath expressions, we have to understand what relative XPath expressions are also. Okay. So if I have to create a relative XPath expression for this button, inspect this again and copy, right click on this HTML code and say copy XPath. You say instead of full XPath, say simply XPath. You see how simple the relative XPath. This is a direct XPath. Okay, it will search for this particular button having the ID is called BUT2 with the help of XPath expression itself. You don't have to give the start from the root element to here, direct here. Okay, and so this absolute XPath expression, do we really use in real time projects? In our work as part of automation, do we use this absolute XPath expressions for locating the UL elements on the pages? Absolutely no. You should not be using. That's a bad practice. Why? Because tomorrow, if some small changes happens on this application where this button just moves from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen, this path will change. Somewhere in between, some div2 will become div3. We don't know. Okay. because of that, this old absolute XPath expression, which is the full path, may not work, and our automation script frequently fails. The moment that this button moves here and there because of the dev changes happening on this button, we have to keep on creating and regenerating this absolute XPath expression again and again, which is not a good thing. Okay, so our scripts will not be reliable. Okay, our scripts will not be reliable if we are going to use absolute XPath expressions in our automation code, Selenium automation code, etc. But if you use relative XPath expression, even though these small changes happen, okay, I'm not talking about major changes, but small changes happens where this button moves from here to here or whatever it is, still this relative XPath expression will not change. And if you are going to use this relative XPath expression in your automation code, the scripts will be reliable. Okay, the scripts will be reliable. Hence, in real time, absolute XPath expressions, which are full XPath expressions, are not preferred. Instead, relative XPath expressions are preferred. Okay, so hope guys you got an idea what exactly are absolute XPath expressions in this session. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye.